welcome you all with love and peace be with you. Today we're going to talk about soul fire. That's a mystery. Soul fire. The key to soul fire is it has to be handled carefully, or you end up getting burnt up. And that's part of the mystery of spiritual life. It's hard to say, it's not to scare people away, but there really are many dead bodies along the way. And it's not a game, spiritual life, when you go a little deeper. One of the keys to understanding soul fire is the story of Nadab and Abihu, who made an unauthorized fire offering while they were inebriated. The fire came out of the ark, burned them up. Just didn't burn their physical bodies, but burnt their souls up. These were very high beings. They were highly respected. They were Aaron's two oldest sons. What happened here? What can we learn from that? Well, one of the messages in the next parsha is don't go in front of God inebriated. It's not a good way to approach a situation. And without stretching it too much, that takes us to the perpetual question about drugs. And I'm going to talk about that a little bit so we can better understand soul fire. Since the 60s, I've been helping people come out of difficulties in taking a variety of drugs, from, quote, herb medicines to like peyote or marijuana or so forth, LSD, ketamine. And what I've seen over the years, and also ayahuasca, is it doesn't work so well in the big picture. Now they've done a variety of studies, SPECT scans, where they can actually show your brain and show people's brains after using these drugs. Also, I'm going to say heroin and methadone, which I always felt was no different than heroin, and the pictures are the same in terms of its effect on the brain. Cocaine, okay, there's a variety of drugs. The key is there really is brain destruction. The key is with all of these, including marijuana, there are subtle changes that go on in the brain as brain cells are lost. And you can really see this with the SPECT scan. Don't really want to dwell on it too much. Also see a conflict, another level, between the Kundalini, the evolving spiritual energy, which is key to understand, the evolving spiritual energy that transforms us into a higher state of consciousness. Now, we have to look at a question of experience. You can have an experience on a drug. You can take whatever and have some level of experience. A lot of the work, and I've known some of the people did their work like Stanislav Grof and so forth, people could definitely have experiences. They could have emotional releases. There's some evidence, including with ayahuasca, that there can be a therapeutic benefit. One of my master's students from Brazil actually with a whole master's thesis on it and 24 different subjects who had taken ayahuasca, reported it, and how it affected them. None of them talked about the evolution of consciousness. They talked about experiences, they talked about clearing up drug addictions and different things, but not really beyond astral plane situations. Now, it doesn't mean that there weren't occasional breakthroughs in higher planes. But here's the key. Experience is not what spiritual life is about. Think about that for a second. Experience is not what it's about. It is about transformation. And this takes us back to soul fire. So we have a soul fire happening, and if we don't manage a burning of that fire for the evolution of consciousness, so we are transformed in the fire of Kundalini, the fire of the Ruach Kodesh, in a way that's balanced, it can cause, and I've seen this just too many times, a variety of emotional, mental, and spiritual imbalances. So I always wondered a little bit, before I began to see it more, that Muktananda, one of my gurus, had a trophy case. People had eventually give up the drugs that they were taking because they realized, well, I got to do the real thing. I actually need to be involved in the transformative process. Yoga, we call it Sanatana Dharma, the natural way of living that takes one to liberation. And that process is different for every person. I talk about 6 foundations, which I'm not going to go through in depth, but simply to say a vegan, at least 100% vegan, at least 80% mindful diet, yoga, asana. Asana is how you are on the earth plane. Pranayama, breathing exercises, service and charity, which we also know in yoga called karma yoga. Working with the spiritual teachers so you don't get burnt by the strange fire that can get out of control. Power of meditation, power of saying the name of God, mantra repetition, and as much Shaktipat, or what we call Haniha in the Torah tradition, is possible to move the Kundalini along, to move the fire of consciousness along. If we try to shortcut it and move to strange fire, even though you may get an insight, you take a series of risks, but you also, in a sense, don't build the platform to expand your consciousness permanently. So you can have an experience. You can have an awareness. But what we're talking about is how do we take the soul fire and turn it into a soul flame that burns up the dross of the ego, so what's left is the spiritual fragrance of who we are. That's the mystery of soul fire. How to work with it in a way that we become the fragrance of the divine. But that is no longer an experience. It's a state of consciousness. May everyone be blessed that we're able to work with that soul fire within ourselves in a way that we burn up the dross of the ego and become the fragrance of the divine. Amen. Shalom, shalom, shalom. Om Shanti, Shanti, Shanti. Om Takyavasa.